Men Behind the Curtain, where we want you to know, don't be a cunt.
Hello and welcome to Men Behind the Curtain, the podcast about everything and nothing all at once. I am Pitt.
I'm Eli. Hope y'all are doing well. Shit's getting weird, or I should say weirder.
I don't even think the Onion can make up half this shit. I mean,
No, not. I don't think they could. And I mentioned this before. A year, 2 years ago, if the Onion had published something, it's the Onion. It's so fucking ridiculous that no way could this be real life. Apparently, that's not true anymore.
it's when did the Onion and the film Idiocracy become actual documentaries?
Yeah. I was joking with my wife yesterday, Friday. Because they were playing the show 911 on Fox. I don't watch it, but I've seen bits here and there. Angela Bassett is in it, and I was joking Angela Bassett was actually the original actress that they wanted to play Storm in X-Men back in 2000. She turned it down because she thought that it wasn't going to be profitable, which I understand. Back then, comic book movies were a bit of a gamble. But I'm like, can we go to the universe where she took the role? Because I'm sure it's way fucking better over there.
I mean, I liked Halle Berry in the role.
Halle Berry was good in the first movie. They kind of dialed back her accent in the second movie, and then by the third movie, she was basically playing herself, which I am blaming that more on the director and writer than Halle herself. And also, they actually lied to get her signed for the third movie. Did you hear that story?
No, I didn't.
So Halle wanted Storm to have a more prominent role. And for X-Men fans, we know that Storm deserves a more prominent role.
Yes.
The script that they showed her, and also I want y'all to keep in mind, this is post Monsters Ball. Halle already has an Oscar at this point in time. So she is an award-winning fucking actress, and a good actress at that. So the script that they gave her, it opens with Storm in Africa. I don't remember the setting or the scene and everything, but this is Storm's actual backstory. So opening right there means that they're more putting her front and center. And then they fucking lied. They pulled that script once she had signed the contract. I'm like, the character deserved better, and the actress absolutely deserves better. That was fucked up.
Yeah, that is fucked up. I mean, she could have got roped in and been playing it till she's 90 like Hugh Jackman.
I have mixed feelings about him anyway in the role, and I believe we've talked about this before. I love Hugh Jackman in the role. I'm not going to be a stickler that he's not comic accurate 5'3" Wolverine. I'm not going to be a stickler because it is so entertaining. However, he did not have to be the centerpiece of every fucking movie that Fox did. All three of the movies, X1, X2, and X3, he was the centerpiece of it. X2 made a little bit more sense because they started exploring his backstory with Stryker. So that was kind of cool.
Right.
But, James Marsden's Cyclops, all he was a cock block for 3 fucking movies.
Well, 2.5, because he's technically not even in the third one.
True, which...
I mean, he's killed by the person he's cock blocking, Logan from.
Right. And the funny thing about that is I know he wasn't going to come back at all. He was jumping ship and he was going to Superman Returns. And I'm like, wait. I could understand if you went to Superman Returns to be Superman. And honestly, James Marsden I think he could have done really well with the part. But no, he went to Superman Returns to be Rebound Dick.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's James Marsden. I mean, I don't know what he's doing to pick and choose his roles, but damn, he's good in every single one of them he does.
Even Sonic, the Sonic the Hedgehog movies, honestly, are way better than they have any right to be. And it works. Like he knows that it's a little cheesy, but he just says fuck it and leans into it, and it just flows. It works. Um, it's funny because they kind of did with Sonic movies. It's almost like what they tried to do back in the '90s with Mario, with Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo. How they
Yeah.
tried to do a real world thing and then just go weird and like it's almost like Sonic was like, I see what you tried to do there, but let me show you how you should do that. Because Sonic made it fucking work. They had whole scenes that felt like a video game level. It was cool.
So I don't know if you've seen this or even aware of it. So there's actually a small series that's on Prime called Jury Duty, and it's basically James Marsden playing James Marsden, an exaggerated version of James Marsden, to where it's one of those fake reality shows where there's like one person who's not in on the joke, but it's just James Marsden as James Marsden who's trying to get out of jury duty and gets put on the jury, and it's actually it's pretty funny.
That does sound funny, to be honest. Is this a movie or a miniseries?
It's like an 8-episode television show, and it's
Okay.
It's just it's just James Marsden playing an extremely exaggerated version of himself.
Honestly, I kind of like those kind of movies. Like when they are playing themselves, just an exaggerated version, and they just like they drum it up, but because to make that kind of movie requires a certain amount of self-awareness with the movie, and you get to just have fun with it. So I honestly I like those kind of movies. So I may check that out.
Yeah, you do get a chance. All right, so I'm going to go straight into Catastrophe to start things off.
All right.
And your favorite person, yes, your favorite person is getting a little risque. And again, these are directed more towards you, but I'm allowed to answer as well. What's something you've always wanted to try but haven't done yet?
And they're not offering any connotation with that question.
No, they are not. But I'm looking at their next one. I'm pretty sure I know what they're looking for. But we're just gonna leave this as something you've never done that you want to do. You just haven't got around to doing it, whether it be financial reasons or time or whatever.
Look, first of all, I obviously I don't know who this person is, but look. I'm not hard to find. You can shoot your shot. I have literally no fucking defensive strategy. Okay, I'm just put that out there. But something I've always wanted to do but never had a chance. I know when I was a kid. Well, all right. You know what? We're gonna do a little bit of white people shit with this.
Incoming. White people shit.
I honestly,
we need a disclaimer at the bottom.
If
Warning,
I had
white people shit.
You know what? I may put that in when I'm editing this. But so if I had assurances that I will not die or get hurt, I would actually have a lot of fun if I was to do something like bungee jumping or skydiving. It actually does sound fun, but it's also risky, and I'm also not the body type to do those kind of stunts. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with that, and I'm only saying that because from what you just said, we're probably about to go way left on this.
Yeah, no. Well, I'd take a flight. I'd get on a plane. I've never been on a plane before. Really? To anywhere. If I've gone places, I drove.
I will admit it is a little bit nerve-wracking at first. I know somebody even offered me a window seat. I'm like, no.
See, I think I would have to sit by the window. I would have to see what's going on outside. Because I'd be like John Lithgow, there's something on the wing.
And that's what I was thinking of, the fucking Twilight episode. I don't want to be that guy. although, and I think we've mentioned this before, that's got to be one of the worst ways to die because if you're on a plane that's going down, you know you're fucking dead, but you have to wait 20 minutes to fucking die.
Well, a lot can happen in 20 minutes. You could,
Yeah.
I mean, fuck it. The plane's crashing. You're going down. Get everybody on the plane to join the Mile High Club.
might as well. I mean, there's no consequence. Kind of like on Loki when they went to Pompeii. Nothing matters.
All right, next one. You come home from work stressed. How do you relax?
That partly is going to depend whether or not I am home alone. So, I mean, it all, if I have some space to myself, I might, get my bag of herbal medicine, we'll call it that, and have myself a little smoky smoke. That always helps. I'm not trying to high five God. I'm just trying to relax a little bit. Now, if my wife happens to be home and the kids are not home, yeah, some help with de-stressing would definitely be nice. Let me just say, I would like to. Actually, you know what? I was just thinking about this earlier. To quote Gambit, which is actually like kind of a catchphrase for New Orleans, "Laissez la bon temps rouler." Let the good times roll.
uh, well, I would say a cigar, but being the fact that I work in a cigar lounge, I'm already doing that at work. So, yeah. Well, if I was working in the office, I'd come home or I'd go straight to work and have a cigar. So there's my way of de-stressing. Cigar. I'm also old, so not much is going to be happening. Oh, by the way, Spaceballs, the T-shirt.
I noticed that.
Yeah. All right, and our last one from your same admirer, I should say, and this is why I was alluding to what possibly the first question could be about, but kept it more general. What's something you secretly fantasize about?
I mean, I don't know if it's a secret or not, but like Selma Hayek for one. So, yeah, like I don't give a fuck. She's in her 50s. I don't give a fuck. She is
I
still.
think Selma Hayek fantasizes about Selma Hayek.
Honestly, if I was her, I would. But more. I don't know. More. I guess more general than that. I don't know because like I don't. I think it's a guy thing that we don't necessarily think of scenarios more so much. Like no, it's like this person. I want to do things with this person. I feel like that's how we as guys think. Because women are at least. Let me back up. Let me not generalize too much. The way that it is told, in any kind of media, TV, movies, books, whatever, they draw it out like women have this drawn out scenario, and like, oh, they want to come home with the rose petals and da 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 da. We don't give a fuck about rose petals.
No, it's
Like-
just something I got to fucking clean up later.
Like, look, I'm just gonna throw you the edible panties and let's just go to work.
Why do you even got to throw the panties?
Hey, it could be a little bit fun. Although, actually, you know what? I was joking about this. Shit. Hey, if a woman wants to come to my front door wearing nothing but a trench coat and lingerie underneath, oh, I'm all fucking for that. Let's put it that way.
um, let's see. Well, first, let me piggyback off the fact of. All right, here's a secret. Guys actually don't think about shit. When you ask us what we're thinking about or what our opinion is, we don't fucking have one because there's nothing on our fucking mind. We are perfectly content with just sitting there with not a goddamn thing going through our fucking skulls. It's that simple. And then you're going to get pissed off when we say nothing. Guess what? Well, there's literally fucking nothing going on. We're not thinking about anything. We don't have an opinion on something. We're just content in being there, doing whatever it is we're doing, which is probably nothing. That being said, what do I fantasize about? I fantasize about having special superpowers, whatever they may be at that point in time. It's like I'll watch Gen V or The Boys or Star Wars or Star Trek, and I'll also be like, God, it'd be really awesome to have Q's ability to control everything in the universe. Or I'd be like, oh wow, Star Wars and Force would be great because I could really use a cold one, and I could just and it's. Yeah, I fantasize about having powers. Actually, what I do fantasize about is winning like the friggin' Mega Millions and having all sorts of shit ton fucking money and how I'm gonna fucking blow it. That's pretty much what I fantasize about.
Yeah. One thing, just to expand on what you were saying a little bit ago, how we're thinking about nothing. I believe it might have been Chris Rock. I'm not sure. It was It was some comedian. He was talking about when we're doing that, we're doing essentially the human equivalent of defragging a computer. We are just dumping unnecessary shit that we didn't want to know in the first place. We don't care what your best friend's birthday was. We don't care about what your mom's favorite TV shows. We don't give a fuck. But yeah, so that I will agree with that. I probably wouldn't want to do it the way that they do on The Boys, because if you're not born with it, then we have to get the temporary V. What was it? Compound V? Was that the temporary
Compound
one?
V, yeah.
Yeah, which kills you after what, 3-4 uses?
Potentially. I don't think Butcher has died yet, and he's been shooting up like Lane Staley of Alice in Chains before his demise.
He has been shooting up, but he is in the last season. He's supposed to be actively dying, which also a few episodes ago I was talking about an actor who was just like really fucking good at being a villain, and I mentioned Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I forgot about The Boys because he was good in that. Yes, character-wise he didn't exist, but Jeffrey Dean Morgan was still the guy in front of the camera. God, he's incredible as a villain. He really is.
Yeah, more villain parts for Jeffrey Dean Morgan, please.
Yeah, and please something more like Negan, because what was so good about Negan is that he is such a despicable piece of shit, but he's so charismatic that you still want to watch him.
Right. Well, can you actually imagine Jeffrey Dean Morgan in some kind of psychological thriller where he's playing like this sociopathic serial killer? That, I mean, dude.
I can actually picture him as the fucking serial killer who is like singing show tunes to himself as he's hunting you in a warehouse or something. Like, I can 100% see him doing that. But yeah, so I guess I almost made a reference because we were talking about The Boys, and we know that Carl Urban, another phenomenal actor. I don't know if I've ever seen any bad thing out of him. Bad movie maybe, but not a bad performance.
Right.
Like Chronicles of Riddick.
No, I was thinking more like Doom.
Okay. Well, I've come to understand over the years that, like, when I look at certain movies and everything, Chronicles of Riddick is a really good example. Chronicles of Riddick is not a good movie. It's not dog shit. It's not a good movie, but it's a very, very interesting character. The character of Richard B. Riddick is fucking great, and I think that's what I attached to, and that's why I was more into the movie.
I think Chronicles of Riddick could have been a lot better if it was more of maybe a 2-part movie or a 3-part movie or like a saga. That way you can actually be introduced to the Necromongers and get an idea of what they were like, because I mean they're here and all of a sudden boom, and you're learning about them through the dialogue, which yes does help, but to have that background on why they're so feared, because to me it was like they came to my planet, I'd be like, whatever, I've got an orange fucking Cheeto in office, you fuckers don't scare me.
Right. No, I can agree with that, and also I think part of it had to do with the fact, like, part of why Chronicles of Riddick was not better received is because it was such a tonal shift from Pitch Black. Now, I didn't actually see Pitch Black at first. Chronicles of Riddick was my introduction, so I saw it in a bubble, if you will, and then I went back and watched Pitch Black. So if you watch Chronicles of Riddick by itself, detached from anything else that the character has done, it's not a terrible movie. Again, it's not great. It obviously didn't win any awards, but like it's actually not a bad, like, good popcorn, summer action movie. It's really not bad. A little heavy-handed with the fucking religion with the necromongers, but still reasonably fun movie. But then when I go back and rewatch Pitch Black, like, oh, that's why they don't like Chronicles of Riddick, because they were expecting more shit like Pitch Black, which is what the third one, Riddick was basically a copy paste of Pitch Black. It really was. Not to say that it was a bad movie, but it was an unoriginal movie. But yeah, I went way off course because we were talking about Carl Urban, but because he likes to call everybody a cunt in The Boys, honestly, probably in real life too, because isn't he actually from New Zealand?
Yes.
Yeah, he probably calls everyone a cunt in his everyday life. Anyway.
Kind of like Rory McCain.
Right. But yeah, we can just go ahead and segue into Cunt of the Week, which I am immediately putting RFK up for mine, just fucking automatically.
All right, so RFK, I do have to agree with Michael Che and Colin Jost that yes, he does look like a foreskin. Not Michael Che's foreskin, but he does look like a foreskin. I did catch that on SNL Weekend Update. Brilliant, Colin Jost, Michael Che and Colin Jost, totally awesome. So yes, RFK, I think he's going to become a regular staple, kind of like the fucking Tangerine Terrorist, and the person this award is named after, Raleigh the cunt. But I'm going to go up there because you know what, I'm going to go an entire fucking group of people for cunts of the fucking week, maybe cunts of the millennia.
I have a feeling I know where this is going.
MAGA. And we're going to group in ICE. By the way, the frog, fucking love it. Keep dancing, frog. But no, and we're going to start with this. We're going to go back. We're going to piggyback off of last week's episode with the Bad Bunny halftime performance where they're throwing a fucking fit about that. But now, fucking Turning Point, fucking USA, and this is the last time I will say your fucking names because I'm not going to give you fucking credit for the bullshit you fucking believe or anything like that in the way you fucking treat people. So this fucking TP USA. Yes, Toilet Paper USA. TP USA is coming up with their own alternative halftime show, which is going to be sponsored by Wholesome American Family Fun. You know what? Guess what? You fucking MAGA fucks. You don't understand this. You guys sit there and harp on it's between one man and one woman. Guess what? Then stop having multiple fucking relationships if you're in a monogamous fucking relationship. Stop sitting there getting 20 million fucking divorces after you fucking get married in a fucking church under the fucking laws of your God. Here's the thing. You guys want to talk about seriously fucking traditional fucking family values? Take a good look in the fucking mirror because none of you fucking have them yourselves, okay? By the way, Jesus had two parents. Jesus had two dads, and he turned out all right.
Yeah. And actually, that's one thing that somebody pointed out to me before is, so going off of the Judeo-Christian beliefs, if we are all made in God's image, explain women.
Well, I mean, nobody understands women. I don't even think women understand women.
I mean, if we're all made in God's image, how do men and women exist? Unless, maybe God is trans or maybe God is non-binary. I don't fucking know. But, yeah, so that's just a logical error with that.
Well, God is non-binary.
I mean, they assigned God to be male for reasons that, well, actually, no, I know exactly what reason for.
Did they check him before birth?
I don't know. We'll have to ask Bernie Sanders about that.
I was there when God was born.
But no, I was absolutely going to point that out with the Turning Point or TP. You know what? And that image that I told you I made where I did an AI image of me as fucking Cornholio, I'm gonna put that up on here.
I'm Cornholio.
But yeah, them putting up, they want to do their own halftime show. I was absolutely going to bring that up. One person mentioned, yes, there are other alternative Super Bowl halftime shows.
Yes, the Puppy Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. The Puppy Bowl, there are things like that. Like way back in the day, WWE even used to do a quick halftime wrestling match or something like that. So it's not unheard of. It's more that they're cunts because of why they're doing it.
You know, the thing is like even if you were gonna do the tribute to the fucking cunt prior to the Super Bowl, I was actually not gonna bother with the fucking Super Bowl. I'm glad the NFL has actually said no, and this is when you get TP USA in retaliation, like, well, we're just gonna do a Super Bowl that halftime show that's much better than yours, and we're gonna have Lee Greenwood or whomever the fuck. I have no fucking clue who's gonna be there, nor do I fucking care.
Oh, you know, Kid Rock is going to do it. You know, he's going to be on there.
Actually, well, I did hear something that he is actually not going to be able to because he's going to be touring elsewhere. Not like who the fuck wants to go see Kid Rock tour? I'm sorry, Robert Ritchie Jr. Go fuck yourself, you cunt.
Although, and this has been another thing that was pointed out. So, first of all, I don't speak a fucking word of Spanish. Well, actually, let me rephrase that because I took Spanish in high school, so
Puta.
I know a couple of words of Spanish. Yes, I know that I know I look like I should speak perfect Spanish, but I don't.
Pendejo, a biblioteca. Or if you're talking cigars, tres compadres.
But so I don't understand most of what Bad Bunny is actually saying. I do understand vibes and energy, though. And honestly, when we're talking about music, generally that's all I give a fuck about.
Yeah, I know nothing. I'll be honest. I know nothing whatsoever about Bad Bunny, and now the bullshit that the fucking MAGA cunts are wanting to fucking do only makes me want to watch the Super Bowl halftime show more now. So, good job at giving him ratings and actually letting people know who the fuck he is.
Well, letting people domestically know who he is, because I was on my Facebook, you know, pissing people off as one does, and so there was one. He said, you know, nobody in the world knew who the fuck he was. I'm like, are you sure about that? I pulled up a screenshot from, I believe the website is Chartmaster or something like that.
Yeah,
and it was showing on Spotify alone. We're not talking about like YouTube or Apple Plus, because those had their own columns. On Spotify alone, he had like fucking 12 billion streams worldwide. I'm like, but nobody knows who he is. Like,
yeah. If I remember correctly, he's already been to the Super Bowl once before as a guest appearance.
He might have.
I think maybe for Shakira, maybe it was.
That would make sense. And hell, he did a performance on SNL a few years ago. Well, I shouldn't say a few. I think it may have been 2 years ago. And honestly, it was a great fucking performance. I thought it was dope. Didn't know a word he fucking said, but it was dope. As a side note, I don't think SNL should let just anybody come and perform. And the reason that I say that, some people don't have the presence for a small crowd like SNL. It just doesn't vibe with certain artists. And it's not anything against that artist. It's just that like the music you do is not made for an enclosed space of like 200 people. It's weird.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to, even though the MAGA cunts have been nominated for cunts of the fucking millennium, I'm gonna have to. I do support your nomination of Forrest Jr.
So speaking of which, for those of y'all who are not as tuned into the news, which honestly, if you're not, I kind of envy you because god damn it. But so now, not only is it Tylenol that causes autism, but apparently if you're a male who got a circumcision, you are now doubly likely to have autism, which I'm like, bitch, what? And he said this with full fucking confidence. So, to which I'm like, then, to which I'm like, I mean, if that's how we're going with it, first off, then how do women get it? Because you know that At least in the United States, they don't have a circumcision. Maybe
Yeah,
in Saudi Arabia.
well, I mean, the majority of places around the world outlaw female circumcision. It's usually certain countries within. I don't want to call them third world because the United States is a bit of a fucking third world country right now itself. So I would say there were a little bit more not as developed regions in the world,
or an
technologically speaking.
Or an oppressive one like Saudi Arabia. I could see them doing it.
Yeah. But yeah, and that's the same point I brought up to my wife. I was like, if it's because that, oh, you're circumcised, now you have autism. It's like, okay. Yeah. And then I brought it up to her. It's like, well, then how do women get, autism? Because they're not circumcised. And I mean, so is that all the Tylenol, or is there something else going on? Like, I don't know, baby aspirin, or I don't know, maybe it's fucking Gerber. It's in the fucking baby food that we're being fed, or maybe it's in the neonatals that they're being prescribed. Go fuck yourself, cunt. Okay, listen, Foreskin Jr., you're a fucking moron. Okay, first of all, I don't claim to be a genius or a medical professional. Well, sometimes I do. Depends on what type of role of doctor I'm playing. But anyway, I don't claim to be a medical professional. I don't claim to be an expert on this. But it doesn't take an expert. It doesn't take a genius. It takes somebody with a basic understanding of logic and reasoning to know that there is a greater link between genetics and the DNA code between the mother and the father, which leads to certain issues such as autism or other deformities such as a cleft lip or hearing issues or taste issues or sight or blind. It's within the genetic code. Simply fucking saying, yes, there is some correlation and some causation. You have to know the difference between correlation and causation. Sorry, foreskin. The thing is yes, there are environmental estrogens out there, such as certain BPA plastics and stuff like that, that can cause some birth, malformations, such as I do know that certain plastics, certain BPA plastic can actually cause a hypospadias, which is where the urethra does not grow up completely. It actually causes it to curve coming out the base of the penis. It's not painful, whatnot. It's just a very small pinhole. And what they do is they go in, take the urethra up and extend it to where the opening should be and close off the old opening, and bada boom, bada bing, you can pee normal.
All right. But yeah, and so here's actually one thing that is going to happen, and it's going to be fucking hilarious. Tylenol is going to sue them. They're 100% going to sue this administration because they keep fucking naming them. But here's the funny part. The reason they keep mentioning Tylenol is because he can't fucking read and he can't say acetaminophen. And if you need proof of that, go to the original announcement, because the stupid son of a bitch said, well, how do we say that?
Acetaminophen.
Acetamin on the fence. So it's funny. They're going to get sued for the stupidest fucking reason, because they're not, when you really listen to them, they're not blaming Tylenol per se. They're blaming acetaminophen, but he can't say acetaminophen, so he says Tylenol.
and even on top of that, it's not 100% acetaminophen. Is there correlation? Yes. Is it causation? No.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Thank you for tuning in to Science Today.
And just as another honorable mention, so in the wee hours of this morning, because we're recording this on Sunday, but you'll see it on Tuesday. In the wee hours of the morning, he put up another fucking post, which he was shitting when he did this.
Yeah, I forgot about this.
About the FBI being in the crowd on J6. Now, this is not the first time he said it. He said this about 2 weeks ago, and Cash Patel went and said, there were agents in the crowd, but the agents were not there at the beginning of it. They went in to do crowd control, which I will give credit where credit is due. That is actually a valid reason to have agents in the crowd, to try to do crowd control and keep them from doing more harmful shit. So, look, I would be completely fair. If Kash Patel is 100% correct about that, cool. No complaints. But Kash Patel followed that up and said that it still came down to a corrupt leadership. Now, before I finish this thought, fast forward to this tweet early this morning, where, fucking Fanta fascist said there were 274 agents on January 6th. Or no, he said that Biden put into the crowd. Pitt, remind me, on January 6th of 2021, who was still president?
Let's see. I'll have to go back and check. Oh, that is right. It was the Tangerine Tyrant.
So if Biden put them into the crowd, then you're a feckless fucking leader.
Well, I mean,
was anyway.
one of my favorite things is hearing some of these MAGA cunts talk about, even when Biden was in office, that Biden wasn't in office. It was Donald Trump who's actually still president, but he's running everything from behind the scenes. Yet they were blaming Biden for everything being fucked up, according to them. But yet he wasn't the president. It was their fucking Cheeto that was running things. It's like, can you people get a fucking brain? I mean, seriously, it is not that fucking difficult to be able to pick up a book and read. And if you don't know how to read, there's places you can go where people teach you how to fucking read. Comprehension takes time and practice, because it's something that the majority of us learned as children that we carry over into adulthood. We don't have to agree with each other. We just have to be civil about it and be like, okay, you don't see the eye to eye with me, you know what, fine, okay, we're done. No big deal.
And Jordan Klepper had a really good segment, because for those of y'all who don't remember this, he used to actually go to fucking MAGA rallies and stuff and interview people and ask them very obvious questions that would just short circuit them. This was one of them, because he said, so you believe that Trump is running things behind the scenes? Yes, he's still the president, but you blame Biden for gas prices. Yes, that's right. And he was like, so how do you square that? And they would just fucking which also like Stephen Miller just did recently. But you know what? We could talk about that maybe next week. We spent a lot of time on politics already.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, those are our pretty much current, just constantly.
Yeah. So I'm wearing this.
Yes,
Baseballs 2: The Search for More Money. I don't know if that's the actual title, but I know that's what he had said in the original. But it has started production. So yes, Spaceballs 2 is on its way.
Honestly, they should make that the title. They really should. Because I'm sorry, what was the scene they were talking about? Because for them to be able to do the movie, to get the contract rights, they were not allowed to sell toys.
They weren't allowed to sell any merchandise whatsoever pertaining to the movie. They couldn't even sell these T-shirts, magnets, Spaceballs, the flamethrower. Kids love that one. So yeah, it was one of those things that, and my cord is all twisted up here. Anyway, it's one of those things in order to be able to do it, they could not sell merchandise related to the movie.
They referenced it in the movie though. I remember there was a scene about that, but I don't remember what was said or how it went.
Oh, it was just basically Yoda showing Lone Star the different merchandise for Spaceballs, but there was no merchandise for Spaceballs. And that's why the scene was in the movie. It was making a mockery of the fact that they were not allowed to come up with any or sell any merchandise related to the film. Now, what's funny is I got a feeling when Spaceballs 2 comes out, it's going to have a shit ton of merchandise.
Probably, because the contractual fight had to do with George Lucas and Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
So with Star Wars now being owned by Disney, and Disney is still like very protective over some of their property rights and everything, but the laws are a little bit more lax. Like, spoofs are just a thing now.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well,
they probably will.
It makes me wonder how Hardware Wars was able to, be made.
I don't know. Also, I mean, then again, it's going to be really, really difficult for them to not sell merchandise because that is not a licensed lightsaber. I just bought that on Amazon. So they can't sue me for it. They can't sue the manufacturer for it. It's just a thing.
That's right. It's not a lightsaber. It's a light sword.
Well, at Walmart and Family Dollar and shit, yes, it is. That is actually sold as a lightsaber.
Oh shit. They'll let Kathleen Kennedy hear that.
Hey, she let Ryan Reynolds do it with Free Guy. Fuck her. Which, did you hear the story about how that happened? How they got to do that scene?
No, I actually didn't. I just love this scene, and there's Chris Evans like, what the shit?
No, like literally, they just asked Disney, "Can we do this?" And they just said, "Yeah, go ahead." So that's how they got the fucking Marvel stuff. That's how they got the lightsaber. They just asked Disney to do it.
Well, Free Guy was a Disney movie.
Well, hang on, let me look that up because they show it a lot on FX, but Disney now owns Fox. So hang on, let me see what the production studio was. See, 2021. I don't know why my fucking default engine is Yahoo because I changed that to Google. Let's see. Production companies, 20. Yep, okay, you're right. Because distributed by, it says 20th Century Studios, not 20th Century Fox. So
Do you want to repeat that last one part for the people in the back that didn't hear you?
What, the distributed by?
No, before that. Right after you found out the production company, you said.
Oh, yeah, I was saying it's 20th Century Studios, not 20th Century Fox.
Yeah, but you had said something specifically towards me.
What, that you were right?
Yeah, that's one. Say that louder.
Yes, you were right. Kaz, he was right. All right. But yeah, so that tells me this was post-merger. So yeah, they wouldn't have had to spend any kind of money on copyrights. And you know what? I'm going to be fair. I've talked a lot of shit about Taika Waititi in the Thor movies. He's in this movie. I have no complaints about him. He was perfectly fine in this. I just don't fucking like what he did with Thor. But
I mean, Ragnarok was good.
Ragnarok, I believe, in my opinion, has the best story of all four Thor movies, but I don't like Taika Waititi's sense of humor. It didn't land with me, and I don't like the way that they treated Thor as a character. And I've mentioned this before. Like in the very first Thor movie, he's talking astrophysics with Jane, so he's highly intelligent. That is not where his passion is. He's a warrior. He likes to fight. So he's intelligent, but he's smart. But come Ragnarok, he's a fucking space jock at that point. Like and a dipshit. He's a bumbling dipshit in that movie. So I don't like the execution of the story. There were things I liked about it. How they adapted World War Hulk. Clancy Brown as fucking Surtur was awesome. Fuck Kate Blanchett. Is that the right word? Yeah, as Hela. Awesome.
Yes.
Like loved her. Honestly, Tom Hiddleston as Loki can do no wrong. Jeff Goldblum. There were things that I really did like about the movie. I just didn't like the humor in the movie. That's what I didn't like about it.
Yep.
But speaking of, while we're on that subject, so they actually have announced at San Diego Comic-Con a few different projects, but the one in particular that I was very focused on was Vision Quest. So we're finally revisiting that. And not only that, Vision Quest is this is their post, their words. This is the conclusion of the trilogy that began with WandaVision. And I was wondering, you say trilogy, what was part two? Was that Multiverse of Madness, or was that Agatha all along? Agatha all along was the second part because Speed, Tommy, will
Yeah.
be in Vision Quest. I am fucking excited for this. And James Spader is back as Ultron.
Really? I know he
Yeah,
was back for the What Ifs doing the voice. I didn't know he
he
was going to be
will
back. Okay.
he will be in Vision Quest. And it made sense to me. He had so many drones in Age of Ultron. Not one got away. Not one. Get the fuck out of here. And that's how he works in the comics. One gets away. Um, and I'm of the opinion, because I have seen people on the internet bash James Spader for his depiction of Ultron, I will die on this hill. James Spader did nothing wrong. The script was wrong in the quips and the sense of humor they gave Ultron, but James Spader as an actor did nothing fucking wrong.
So I want to hit you with a one must go real quick.
All right.
And we're going to call this Black Edition.
Oh God.
So one of these must go. The Cosby Show. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Okay.
In Living Color. And Martin.
I'm gonna have to say the Cosby Show, and honestly, it's a little bit easier because of what we have learned about Bill Cosby over the years. But I'm gonna explain each of these. So, if there was no In Living Color, if nothing else, first off, no Sean and Marlon Wayans, like we would not know them the way that we know them today. But we would not have Jim Carrey. And I'm sorry, that's not a world I want to live in without Jim Carrey. um, Fresh Prince was like my childhood show. I did watch Martin. I didn't watch Martin as much. I watched the shit out of Fresh Prince. Martin Martin is a show that I'm actually glad that I went back and revisited as an adult, because when you're an adult and you can actually understand all of the humor and all of the jokes being told, oh my fucking god, this show is so fucking funny. And I have no idea how Fox let them get away with so much on fucking network television. Um, so yeah, I understand Cosby Show was an iconic thing. That was like he was America's dad. It was a positive black show and all that. But we also found out that Bill Cosby is a piece of shit. Also, was it Malcolm Jamal Warner? He just passed.
Yes.
Yeah, rest in peace, Malcolm Jamal Warner. Goddamn. But yeah, I'd have to let Cosby Show go. Hurts me a little bit to say so because of what the show was, but also fuck Bill Cosby.
All right. Since we're playing One's Gotta Go, the Black Edition. I'm gonna hit you with another one.
All right.
Boys in the Hood. New
Okay.
Jack City. Paid in Full. Or Juice.
So I may lose my card for this because I haven't actually watched any of them, to be honest.
The fuck? I've seen them. And I glow in the dark.
I'm keeping Juice because it's Tupac, and that might have been like one of his first like movie roles, which
Yeah.
I think he was. I think if he hadn't died when he did, he was going to transition out of music, like LL Cool J did. I have to keep Boys in the Hood, and I'm keeping Boys in the Hood for a very weird reason. Is that if we didn't have Boys in the Hood, we don't have Don't Be a Menace with Sean and Marlon Wayans. The other one was Paid in Full. What was the fourth one?
The fourth one was Juice.
Well, so okay, I missed one because we got Boys in the Hood.
So
we got
Boys in the Hood, New Jack City, Paid in
New
Full,
Jack
and
City.
Juice.
I'm going to keep New Jack City because I don't know if we would have Wesley Snipes or Chris Rock in the way that we know them without that movie. So I'm gonna have to keep them. And whatever you might feel about either of those actors, look, if we didn't have Wesley Snipes, we don't have Blade. And so y'all don't understand how big of an impact Blade actually had. Blade did bullet time before the Matrix did. Um, Blade was a successful comic book movie before the X-Men. We credit the X-Men and some of the other movies with what the MCU grew to be. Blade did it first. So I'm keeping New Jack City. So Paid in Full, I'm going to let that one go, but I'm also saying this a little bit blindly.
All right, and our very last one of these things must go, Black Edition. Denzel Washington.
Oh, God.
Samuel L. Jackson. Morgan Freeman. Or Jamie Foxx.
God damn, man. That's really difficult because you actually picked probably the absolute best fucking actors.
Yes, and this honestly had nothing to do with. I'm sitting there thinking, it's like I would think it's like, how cool would it be to see Denzel Washington, Sam Jackson, Jamie Foxx, and Morgan Freeman in a fucking movie together? This is what's going through my fucking mind before we came on to record this, and I'm like, oh, one of these must go Black Edition.
I hate,
and I love all four of them. Like I would like literally be like fangirling and fanboying, like if I've ever get the chance to come across them.
Yeah,
but one of them must go.
And one thing I want to say, if y'all have never watched Jamie Foxx's movie The Soloist, please go check that out, because as many accolades as he got for Ray, and he did deserve them, by the way, his performance in The Soloist was incredible, because this is based on a true story. He was a celloist. I believe he went to Juilliard. If it wasn't Juilliard, it was like one of those very, very prominent schools. He dropped out. He's homeless, and schizophrenic might not be the politically correct term, but he does have some kind of mental condition.
Well, having schizophrenia would be correct. You wouldn't technically say schizophrenic. You'd just be like, they suffer from schizophrenia.
Okay. But yes, he does have like that mental and personality disorder, and it's an amazing performance. It's a heartfelt performance. Robert Downey Jr. got a lot of praise for that movie, and I don't understand why, because Jamie Foxx is the one who fucking slayed that movie. And he's done a lot of movies that I love, Django Unchained. Django is one of the only Tarantino movies that I actually enjoyed. But I kind of have to give Jamie the axe on this one, because you can't get rid of Sam. You fucking can't. I just can't fucking do it. Denzel too. Denzel, you have John Q. You have fucking Training Day. I'm sorry. Wait, who's the other one?
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman. That's the narrator that literally everybody on Earth aspires to be. No, I'm sorry. I have to begrudgingly get rid of Jamie Foxx, but that one fucking hurts. And
wait, would you like me to replace Jamie Foxx with somebody else so you can have another choice?
Technically, Candace Owens is a failed actress.
Well, I was gonna throw in, say, either Ving Rhames or Michael B. Jordan.
Ving Rhames would be a much easier one to let go with that, because while he has had some really good roles, he was very prominent in the Mission Impossible series. I can't name as many iconic roles that Ving Rhames has done. So Ving Rhames would be a little bit easier. Michael B. Jordan, that would be really fucking difficult, because Michael B. Jordan, especially after this last movie he did, Sinners, I believe, in my opinion, he is climbing into that Denzel Sam echelon of actors.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
and we've seen him do so many different things. He was on the fucking Wire as a teenager. He was on the Wire. He did Fruitvale Station, which was based on a true story. Of course, we know Creed. We know he was one of the best villains Marvel has ever done with Killmonger. Michael B. Jordan would be a really fucking difficult one. Now, if you slot Michael B. Jordan in place of Jamie Foxx, I might have to let Denzel go.
Here, let me make this impossible for you. Okay. We're gonna keep Denzel, Sam Jackson, Morgan Freeman. We're not gonna put Jamie Foxx or Michael B. Jordan in there, but we're gonna make our fourth one Richard Pryor.
Oh god damn it. Yeah, that one's impossible. And it's not even impossible because of Richard Pryor himself. He was fucking hilarious. Like, I've seen some of his old stand-ups and everything. But it's more about who came after Richard Pryor. One of the biggest ones being Eddie fucking Murphy. Eddie Murphy talks about listening to Richard Pryor albums as a kid. He would sneak down like when he was a little kid and they're listening to Richard Pryor albums. If you don't have Pryor, you don't have Eddie. So it's not even Richard Pryor was a phenomenal comedian, and his body of work speaks for itself. But I would have to keep him just because of who he inspired. It's like getting rid of Michael Jackson. If you get rid of Michael Jackson, that is a cascading effect all the way through the last 40 years of music.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Yeah, I told you I was gonna make it impossible.
Yeah, that one is unfucking doable.
I reign supreme. Well, thank you for playing One of These Things Must Go, Black Edition.
I'm sorry, Jamie. I'm sorry, Denzel.
That's right. Actually, the one thing, his Denzel's son, was it Jonathan Washington?
Yes,
His name, yes.
David Washington. I think. I don't. He's the main character in Tenet.
Yeah. I'm sitting there watching this. It's like, and I didn't realize it was his son. And David Washington. Yeah.
John David Washington.
Yeah. And I'm sitting there watching Tenet, and I at first I didn't realize it was Denzel Washington's son. And some of the mannerisms, some of the words he was saying, some of the, it was like, damn, he's really good at, doing a Denzel Washington impersonation. He fucking sounds like him too. And I'm like, oh shit, it's his son.
Yes.
But for me, it was like one of those things. It's like I feel the fact that I did not know he was Denzel's son, and to sit there and actually enjoy that movie and the performance speaks volumes to his ability as an actor, to the point of where it's like, yeah, I don't give a shit if he's Denzel's son. He didn't even have to be Denzel's son, and guess what? He fucking nailed it. So hats off to him.
And also, one very interesting thing about that movie, Tenet, which, first of all, I've talked about this before. I love Christopher Nolan as a director. I genuinely believe he is one of, if not the best storytellers in the movie industry today. I think that Ryan Coogler is like right next to him or right behind him. But Tenet is one of the only movies that I genuinely did feel was a little bit complicated. I did have to go back and rewatch it to like really grasp everything. But yeah, John David Washington, when I was watching that, if you close your eyes, you will not know that is not Denzel. Like, yeah. Holy shit. But fun fact about that, did you catch that they never actually name his character?
Yeah, no, I noticed that and for me, that's like awesome.
Yeah, he is. If y'all never caught this, literally in the credits, he is the protagonist. That's all he is known as for the entirety of the movie. They never give him a name, which is a really interesting way to do that movie. I thought it was fucking dope. Good performance from like Robert Pattinson, but I also felt like Robert Pattinson was replaceable in that movie. Like, he wasn't bad, but like he did not make or break the movie. Like, no, John David Washington absolutely did.
Yeah, phenomenal.
And speaking of Christopher Nolan, I know another one he's got coming up. He's actually doing a movie based on the Odyssey.
Oh,
I don't know how that's going to work with his style. Because, he likes to do, some mindbender shit. Batman's probably one of the only movies he did that wasn't mindbender. So with him doing the Odyssey, and this is, a Greek epic and everything, I would really love to see how he adapts this story. I have no idea who's going to be in it. Probably Cillian Murphy for some fucking reason. He works with Cillian Murphy a lot.
let's see, Cillian Murphy and Tom Hardy and like a few others. So
Michael Caine somehow.
yeah. All right, well, everybody, thank you for joining us today, and that's all the time we have. So we will see you next Tuesday.
Y'all take care. Have a good one. Feel free to check us out, especially on Facebook, to get those likes up. But otherwise, y'all have a good one. As he said, see you next Tuesday.
Be you.